powerful hook, it was supposed to be a perfect Sunday morning. One of those rare family days when everything feels slow, warm, and safe. The Raymonds walked out of a cafe laughing, their little boy, Evan, clutching a half-eaten cupcake. But then she appeared. The tiny girl in torn clothes stepped out from behind a bench. Dirt covered her small hands, her hair tangled, her feet bare despite the cold concrete. She looked no older than 6. Her eyes, sunken yet unbelievably gentle, fell on Evan's cupcake. She didn't ask for money. She didn't beg. She only whispered, "Is it sweet?" And before anyone could react, she reached out and lightly touched Evan's hand. No one knew it at the time, but that single touch would change everything. The encounter. Thomas and Emily Raymond tensed instantly, parents' instinct. They pulled Evan gently back, but he didn't move away. He looked at the girl with wide curiosity and offered her his cupcake. She stared at it as though she'd been offered gold. "Thank you," she whispered. Her voice cracked like it hadn't spoken in days. Thomas swallowed hard. Why is a child alone like this? Emily tried carefully. "Where's your mom, sweetie?" The girl said nothing. She simply took one tiny, slow bite, as if afraid it would disappear. Then she looked at them again. "My name is Lily." They could have walked away. People passed by, eyes cold and indifferent. A security guard from the cafe glanced over but turned his head as if Lily were nothing more than a nuisance to ignore. Thomas felt that familiar adult conflict. If I help, it becomes my problem. If I walk away, I can pretend it never existed. He had deadlines to meet, a business to run, bills waiting. They didn't plan to save a life today, but then Evan spoke. "Daddy, she's hungry." Simple, innocent, unfiltered truth. That was all it took. Taking her in, but only for a moment, they bought Lily a small meal. She ate slowly, carefully, as though afraid she'd do something wrong. She barely lifted her head. It wasn't hunger alone. She behaved like someone who expected punishment for existing. Emily spoke softly. "We can take you to the police. They'll help find your parents." "No," Lily whispered instantly, trembling. Her reaction wasn't fear of getting lost. It was fear of going back to something. The Raymonds exchanged glances. For the first time in a long time, they didn't know what to do. The hidden bruises. While Evan played on the cafe's kids' bench, Lily lifted her sleeve slightly. Emily noticed bruises. Not accidental ones. Long, dark, intentional. Emily's heart shattered. "Sweetheart, who did this?" Lily didn't answer. She only stared at the door as if expecting someone to burst in and drag her away. Her silence said enough. The choice that changed everything. They called the authorities. Not because they didn't want responsibility, because every child deserves protection. Police asked questions, promised care, said they would investigate. But as they took Lily away, she clung to Evan, crying silently. Not loud sobs. Painful, breathless whimpers from a child who had forgotten what love felt like. Evan hugged her back and whispered something they didn't hear. And that night, Thomas and Emily didn't sleep. Days passed. Something miraculous happened. They thought they'd never see Lily again. But 1 week later, there was a knock at their door. A child welfare officer stood there, and behind her, holding a small teddy bear, was Lily. Cleaner, healthier, calmer. "We found her mother," the officer said. "Drug addiction, abusive partner, deep neglect. Lily was registered as endangered. We needed a safe foster option, and she specifically asked for Evan's family." Emily covered her mouth, overwhelmed. Thomas knelt down and asked softly, "You want to stay with us?" Lily nodded, not with desperation but hope, and the unbelievable part, she was smiling. The challenges they faced life didn't magically become easy. Lily woke up terrified from nightmares. She hid food under her pillow for weeks. She flinched any time someone raised a hand too quickly, even when it was just to grab a cup. She didn't know how to play, laugh, or trust. Evan became her gentle protector. He stood by her at school, shared his toys, held her hand when she shook in fear. She slowly learned love wasn't something she had to beg for. There was another challenge: bureaucracy. Months of interviews, financial evaluations, emotional assessments. Lawyers, courts, background checks. They were often exhausted, but they never turned back. And Lily, despite her pain, blossomed. For the first time in her life, she was loved. The unbelievable outcome: 1 year later, Lily stood in front of a judge holding Evan's hand again. The ruling was simple: permanent adoption, a forever family. When asked what she wanted to say, Lily spoke. Thank you for choosing me before I knew how to choose myself. The courtroom fell silent. Even the judge wiped tears. Final message: homelessness isn't always about lack of shelter. Some children are homeless in their own homes, unseen, unheard, unloved. All it takes to change a life is someone willing to care. You don't need to save the world. Just don't walk away when the world asks you to care. Call to action: Blossom. Thank you for watching this emotional story. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. What would you have done if you met Lily? Yellow heart if you believe in kindness, compassion, and love that changes lives. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and support our channel. Be kind, always turn on the bell so you never miss another inspiring story. Sparkles together. Let's make kindness go viral. Sparkling heart.